we are back with Dr. Karen once again.
Hi.
Before we begin, I actually want to start by saying thank you so much to everyone who comes here and is so positive and grateful for the work that Dr. Karen is doing on this channel. Thank you. We see your messages, we see your support, we see you cheering us on, and it really does make us feel like we're on the right path, right? Like we do feel that we made the right choice.
Because that was the goal to reach you regarding mental health. So we're glad that your responses have been so positive. So thank you for the love.
Yeah, and I hope you're going out there kicking butt. Yeah. And then also just wanted to quickly mention before we get into today's topic that I always try and make sure that I leave Dr. Michelle's details in the description box. But just so you know, if you are writing to the email that's there, I think it's info@redcrow.group.
Yes,
I'm not entirely sure. But if you are writing, sending an email to that email address, then you're writing to Dr. Michelle and not to Dr. Karen, right? So
and Dr. Michelle can answer any questions that I can. Yeah. Because even though we say she's a marriage and family therapist, she's a therapist first. So she can answer those questions. However, keep in mind that our role as therapists is not to give you advice. So if you're writing for advice or you're writing to ask a question, we won't just give you an answer just like that, because we believe that just like a doctor would, if you said you have a sore throat, they'd ask you to go in. They don't just prescribe the medicine right there. So we believe in meeting you first, talking to you, knowing who you are before we start dealing with anything else. So if you're hoping for advice,
it's not gonna happen. And I know firsthand, I can't tell you the number of times I've been like, Dr. Michelle,
tell me what to do. Tell me what to do.
And then she's like, no, you know how this works. Let's start afresh. Oh, and then another little announcement in case it wasn't obvious.
I was trying to ignore it. Oh god.
Oh my goodness,
so much.
This actually looks
amazing.
So
you have to see this, guys. Look at that.
It looks so
mushrooms.
It smells so good.
Yes. Okay. Put it here.
Yeah, let's just place it there. But in case it wasn't obvious, we are out and about yet again. Today we're at Zen Garden. We just sneakily placed our camera right there, and we're just hitting record and talking to you guys, just so that it's a different feel, a little bit more relaxed, but hopefully it still is going to give you what you need when it comes to the tools and how to go through life.
And that's exactly what we do. We give you the tools to make the decisions yourself. So if it's advice, that's not us. A therapist will not give you advice, and if they do, they're not doing what they should.
No, you gotta kick them to the curb.
That out. So,
today's topic is a juicy one.
It is. Some ways to heal following heartbreak.
A breakup. How do you lift yourself up and get back on track in a very healthy way? Because I think sometimes it's easy to just sit and feel sorry for yourself, or to get a clutch, and whether that clutch is maybe alcohol, maybe you start sleeping around because you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Which is a common one.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's as if you're trying to get them out of your system, but
they don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
they go away for the moment,
but it doesn't work. Back, it always comes back to haunt you.
It does.
So just how do you do so? How do you heal? How do you move on in the best way possible that leaves you feeling stronger?
Okay. So what I'm going to do is at some point I'm going to throw in a Katrina, just a client I've made up.
Katrina.
Katrina. Just made up a name. So Katrina does this. Katrina comes into therapy, which is why a lot of people come into therapy, mainly about relationships. So Katrina comes into therapy after 4 months of having not been with her ex because he broke up with her. Then Katrina comes in because she can't get over this ex. She can't get him out of her mind. When she wakes up, the first thing she thinks of is him. Then she remembers he's not there, and then she has a horrible day. What she then does is she then goes to Instagram to try and see how he's doing.
Oh God.
Whether he's moved on, is he happy? Then she realizes he's moving on with his life.
Damn you, social media.
Exactly. And there you go. So she does that to see how he's doing, realizes he's doing okay, and that makes her furious because she's not moving on. So after 4 months of no recovery, her friends are telling her, you know, move on, find something else to do. She's saying, of course I want to move on. Who wants to be unhappy and sad? So she wants to move on, but she can't, and she's stuck in a rut. But her friends are saying move on. It doesn't work that way. So she says, I really want to move on. I'm stuck. I feel this way. So then she comes into therapy. So So when she comes into therapy,
okay,
then we address what's going on, and I'm going to go into that in a little while.
Okay.
Sadly though, her situation is not unique.
Oh,
it's
are
not
you,
unique.
okay, how many people, by show of hands, have gone through heartbreak?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, we've all gone through heartbreak.
Exactly, exactly. At some point in our lives, all of us will go through heartbreak. Now, many of us may struggle to get over an ex. When we're heartbroken. Some people might say, oh, but I've never had an issue. Yeah, that's okay for you, but however, don't use that to trivialize or minimize the pain that your friend is feeling. You may not have been as attached as they are, but like Katrina, who had seen this as someone who she was going to eventually marry, that can be a huge blow. So that doesn't work that way. So many of us struggle to get over an ex. Whether it's you, whether it's a friend, even if it's not you, listen for a friend so you know what to do. So
oh, that's a good point.
Yes.
So even if you're not going through it right now, or you just aren't that kind of person, you need to take these points to heart so that you help a friend. Because in those moments, it's your girls or your guys who really are going to help you out.
Exactly. And you hope that they do, that they're there for you. So what happens is, if someone is heartbroken and dealing with,
there's someone who's pissed off.
And
are you going through heartbreak? Come, let's help you. No, he's like a 4-year-old kid. He has no idea how tough life is about to get. Okay, I just feel like the world is something happening. There are bees and there are babies. There's a lot.
Back to where were we?
You were saying the friends need to listen out. So how do we go about helping Katrina? Okay,
so now let me go back to what happens when someone is heartbroken, so you can know how to help. Because if you don't know what's going on, then you have no idea how to help. So many of us struggle to get over an ex when we're heartbroken. Then we spend months feeling completely obsessed with the person who broke our heart, and then we're unable to let go of the relationship we lost. And that happens to a lot of people. So we start to crave this person, and the way we deal with the craving is that we then go through all of our old texts, images of us when we were there in a happier time, trying to see, you know, when we last felt whole and happy. And then what then happens, without that person who broke our hearts, then we feel like we can't move on, nothing else makes us happy, and even if someone else tries to come in, we shut them down. Now, does this sound like addiction to you? 100%.
In fact, I was going to say, I'm of the opinion that if you've broken up, you need to cut. Especially just then. Maybe if you later on meet as friends, that's one thing. But I'm of the opinion that if you are done,
you're done.
You sever everything. Every photo, every text, every Instagram account, no-go zone.
And I like the fact that you said that, because that's actually one of the points of how to deal. But then, yes, and you're right, it is an addiction. Because you can be addicted to your ex.
Oh Jesus.
You can actually be addicted. It sounds very dramatic, but again, it's a very honest comparison. I'm going to show you how. Now, there's a guy who wrote an amazing book, and I'm going to give you his name. His name is Dr. Guy Winch, PhD, How to Fix a Broken Heart. And one of the things that he says in the beginning is, brain studies have found, and I'm using his words, that the withdrawal of romantic love activates the same mechanisms in our brain that get activated when addicts withdraw from cocaine or opioids. Dramatic? Yes.
Yeah, no, but that's why it feels like it actually, you physically feel like unwell, like there's something physically wrong.
Because again, at the end of the day, love is addictive. Love is addictive. It is addictive, and some people get more addicted than others, just like in life. Okay, so love is addictive, and the withdrawal of love hits us so hard. It hits us like we're suddenly now being deprived of that substance that we crave. And that's why I say love is an addiction.
The way even relationships work, you're constantly talking, you're constantly seeing them.
You're dependent on them. You are dependent on them.
Like even the most mundane thing, it's like, oh my goodness, the lattes at this place are never that. You start sharing the most mundane things, so suddenly there's a void.
There's a void. And then because you become so dependent on them, you start to go through withdrawal, just like someone would if they were addicted to something. The difference is that addicts know that they're addicted, because they intentionally go and either shoot up or ingest substances. But someone who's heartbroken does not know that they're addicted. So if it's you, or if it's someone you're helping out, be gentle with them. Be gentle. Be gentle with them, and don't assume that they're just making it all dramatic. This is what they are going through. It's withdrawal. It's serious.
And I like what you're saying, because sometimes it's not easy to understand where someone is coming from. It's just like, dude,
if I
like,
don't
get
feel
over
that
it.
way,
It's
then
like,
you don't.
You're
yeah.
being so dramatic, get over
Exactly.
it, but you've got to be gentle.
You have to be gentle with them.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna bring back Katrina and this ex of hers. So Katrina's brain was responding like the brain of an addict. What she was doing was she was trying to, her brain was getting her to try and find her fix. Now, since Katrina couldn't have her ex back, and her ex is her cocaine or her opioids, then what she could, only thing she could do was indulge in memories of him. And anytime she did that, it was like trying to go through images and texts and videos and Instagram. All she was doing was feeding her addiction. And by doing that, then what happens is she then deepens her emotional pain, and then she complicates her recovery, and then makes it a lot harder to heal. Because she gets a fix for a short time, but the problem is the next time the craving hits, it's stronger.
Whoa, you are breaking down love in ways that I've
stronger.
never even begun to understand.
Yeah. So how do you get over your ex? How do you deal with this heartbreak?
Okay, yeah.
So how to quit the heartbreak addiction? Now, the same man, Dr. Winch, says, getting over an ex is not a journey, it is a fight. And your reason is your strongest weapon.
You know, like Oprah says,
Yes.
that's a tweetable moment.
Isn't it awesome? Yeah. Getting over an
your
ex is not a journey, it's a fight. And your reason is your strongest weapon. And I've quoted him. I've quoted him verbatim. So that's him. So there's sometimes when someone breaks up with us, then they give us a reason. That reason could be really simple and very straightforward and very honest.
Yeah.
But then unfortunately, there is no reason that, especially the simple ones, there's no reason that's going to give you a clear understanding of why the relationship ended. None of it. So then what we do is then we reject it. Because in our minds, since heartbreak is so dramatic, then the reason for breaking up must be equally dramatic. And if you don't get your dramatic reason, then what then happens is that you then decide it's still mysterious. You make up your own conspiracy theory. It doesn't matter how educated you are, everyone does this. And then you just decide that the reason must have been dramatic in the first place.
Wow.
Getting over heartbreak has very many similarities to addiction. It's the same thing. What you have to do is take the pressure off of you and see how to not get in contact with that drug, that person, that activity that it is that you wanted to do.
Okay.
And it's easier said than done, and yes, you may need help sometimes.
Yeah.
So the first thing, number one, go cold turkey.
That's what I was saying.
Yes, cold turkey is what she said, and it means no, which means no
Zero.
social media.
Yeah.
No contact if possible.
Yeah.
Sometimes contact is not possible because you work together.
Yeah.
Or you have, or you meet in the
together.
or you meet in the hallway.
Yeah.
You meet, maybe it's someone in your building, then you have to meet in the hallway.
Yeah.
So if it's not possible,
I was gonna say a relative, and then I thought,
no, I was
actually,
gonna say, no,
they should be a relative.
Not in this.
Yeah.
Not in this
Not
continent.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah.
But yeah, so it could be you work together, you have a child together, you have a business together, or property together. There might still be some kind of contact.
Exactly.
But that being said, like I still as much as possible.
You can eliminate your contact points, minimize them.
Yeah.
So even if minimize your contact points.
Yeah.
Because the thing you're trying to do is to delete. You're trying to delete, and that means you're deleting them from your phone. Deleting from your phone is good because hopefully you haven't memorized the number. Then you can't drunk dial.
I think you probably have memorized. If it's someone who means a lot to you, you know the number offhand.
But delete it. Either way, delete it because our brains nowadays we don't retain as much.
That's true.
You notice numbers don't come as easily.
It's like I don't know your number.
Yeah, there you go. You
And like, there's no way.
In the days.
Oh wait, I think I know 3 digits in your number.
There you go. That counts.
That's all.
In the days when we didn't have the phone,
you had to
memorize.
You
People don't do that. So delete the number.
Unfriend them.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Block them from your social media.
Block and I agree.
Yeah. And then make photos and videos inaccessible to you. And that's block them off.
Yeah.
The next thing is distract your mind. Distract your mind by doing something that keeps you busy. You can work on a revenge body. You can do
work on your business.
Yes, work on your business. Work on a new hobby. A new hobby that has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Keep yourself busy. The goal is to keep your mind so occupied that you don't have time to sit down and marinate on all the things you used to do together. Just make sure it has nothing to do with something that he or she introduced you to. Make sure it's completely new to you and that you enjoy it. Try and do that because we can't we can't tell ourselves not to think about someone. Okay, no, we can, but we're lying to ourselves. Yeah, don't think about so and so, please. You're gonna think about them even more.
Yeah.
So you can't tell yourself not to, but you can replace their memories with other things.
Yeah.
So keep busy
and keep your mind busy.
Exactly, because what's gonna do is gonna help ride out the cravings, which come in waves, and they're gonna come in waves. They'll be very strong sometimes and weaker at some points. Just keep busy so that you don't have to deal with the waves and the impact as you're working.
Yeah.
Slipping in any way makes the cravings even worse. So recognize that you have to be as disciplined as possible. This is gonna require your all, and if it requires your friends to pull you in and pull you down and strap you down, then it's fine, because it's going to be super difficult. So if you slip up in any way, what's going to happen is if you start looking at pictures of yourself, you know, when you were happy on vacation, you're going to go back to that space that's not your space anymore, and then it's going to set you back, and the intensity of the cravings is going to be even stronger afterwards. Okay. Because a lot of times what we do is we always remember the good times, not the bad ones.
Oh yeah.
Always. The next one is reframe what your ex means to you. And that pretty much means, like, think about the fact that your ex was a source of happiness and security and stability, but they broke up with you. So they're none of those right now, but they are your addiction. They are your drug instead. So what do you do with drugs? You stay away. So stay away, stay away, stay away.
Right.
If you stay away from them, you should, because they no longer provide the happiness and security that you had.
That actually makes sense, especially for those situations where maybe the separation or the breakup was more amicable than others. So sometimes it can be like, oh, but they're still a great person. They're still a loving human being. They're still a kind, but you've got to change.
You have
that.
You have to.
Otherwise, you're still stuck in that moment.
Exactly.
Gosh,
and I'm glad you brought that one up, because that was going to be my last one. Because again, think about the fact that no rationale is ever going to be satisfying enough or take away the pain you feel. You never have a good enough reason for why you broke up. So don't wait for one. Don't search for one. Just accept the reason you got. And if it's so hard for you to accept it, then just make one up, put the question to bed, and then that's the only way you're gonna get the closure you need to resist this addiction that is a person. It's the only way. You have to be willing to let go. You have to be able to accept that the relationship is over. Otherwise, your mind is going to feed on the hope that something's going to happen. And hope is incredibly destructive when it comes to heartbreak. And that's why I was saying, when you mentioned that, I started thinking of that hope that's going to be...
You're still living in that moment.
It's one of the most incredibly destructive things ever. Hope. So just... Don't let it creep in.
And I even like the fact that, because I think when a breakup is horrible and difficult and like ugly and messy, or something horrible happened, it's easy to just remember that and just be like, I'm gonna the good times. I feel like it's easy to remember the bad moment, the bad, you know, so you can hold on to that. But then when a breakup is still, like, for the most part, it still feels like you could work out, they were good, they were amazing. It's probably even harder to separate yourself from that person.
Yes, that's true. But even when you try and think about them, all you remember is the bad times, just keep in mind the fact that you actually learned something from that. So you know not to go that way again. You know what to accept, what not to accept anymore. So even through the bad, you learn some things about yourself and definitely about them. So keep that in mind. So, but at the end of the day, recognize that you're hurting. Accept that you're hurting. Know that you're hurting. It's gonna be a battle in your mind. It's gonna be difficult. You may need help. You're gonna require a lot of diligence to win, and you have to fight, because that's the only way you're gonna heal from that breakup. Fight.
Are we done? Oh my God, this was so amazing.
That is it. I know there's a lot more we could have covered, but I think short and sweet makes sense.
I know. I love what you've just shared with us. Thank you.
That's it for today. That's it.
I feel like there's so many questions. Look, if you have questions, which I bet some of you guys watching might have, please leave them in the comment section below, and maybe we could come back to I mean, I just think this was
we'll do our
such
best
an amazing
there are very many questions as well, so we will do our best to address them as we go. This actually, heartbreak has come up in a couple of them, and that's why I just figured let's address it since we were
exactly
on the, but keep in mind we're not always going to cover just relationships.
That's true,
because there's more to life than just
relationships,
and because there are relationships, yes, with our peers, with our parents, with our friends,
colleagues,
with our siblings, you know, they're always going to be those, and they may have an aspect of relationship, but they're not always going to be romantic, and this one was covering the romantic relationship part. So yeah, so just remember those few things. It's gonna be a fight. You gotta fight. You need to be strong.
You need to win.
You need to be strong.
It's for you.
Yes,
you need to, and you want to come out of it stronger, better, having learned from it. In fact, someone once told me that the best revenge, you know how you talked about like focus on something, revenge body, but the best revenge is success. Success in anything. Success in body, success in health, success in money, success in other relationships in your life. But thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And thank you guys again.
I hope
for
this is helpful.
I know. I mean, I loved this session. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next month. If you have any suggestions as to what kind of topics you'd like us to touch on, by the way, you can also leave that in the comment section. And we'll see which ones Dr. Karen touches on next.
And it's always going to be general. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Always.
Thank you. And thank you guys. See you.
Thanks for the love. Bye.